dive into this episode. We're already in episode 3, guys. It's kind of going by fast, honestly, and it's only like 33 minutes an episode. Uh, right off the bat, I want you to guys let me know if you enjoy this or not. I actually thought this was the best episode out of the 3. There is some gripes about it, but I thought it definitely was the best episode out of 3. What do you guys think?
I agree. I agree that it was the best episode because it was the most different from what we know. It was the most like it's perfect for this show. You know, what if? Because this is something that we've never seen in the MCU. What if the Earth's mightiest heroes die before they can form? The other two
Exactly.
episodes, they're just different versions of characters we already know. This is a whole new story, so that's why I
Hmm.
really liked it. That's why I think it was the best episode so far.
What do you think, Chase?
Yeah, I agree. I liked how it did go back to. It's been my favorite one. I like how it goes back to like the original Avengers movies and stuff like that, and it really made me feel kind of nostalgic. And yeah, it's kind of been the best one when showing a different perspective. It's probably been my favorite different perspective that we've seen because that's what started the entire MCU, and to see that go down a different route was pretty cool.
Hmm.
No, it was really cool. Yeah, I freaking really enjoyed the episode. It was such a better pace than the other two. It felt like that movie pace, where they're just kind of. It was a murder mystery, and I was like, oh shit, I thought Natasha was the one that was actually doing it, but she was framed. So was Hawkeye. So you see the Thor, right? You see Thor was in Mexico grabbing
New
a
Mexico.
hammer. New
Hmm.
Mexico grabbing a hammer. It's great to see Coulson back. You have Samuel Jackson reprise his role. You have Clark Gregg as Coulson reprise his role. There is Michael Douglas reprises his role. So I think the only one, and Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo was in this too.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my favorite parts in this episode was the taking it back to when Thor arrived. Absolutely loved bringing the Incredible Hulk story into it. You got Betty Ross back in here. Then you have General Ross in here, and they recreate the scene. When I think that's when like Abomination like kind of he that guy kind of injects himself, but he's not truly Abomination. It's like the first stage of it. Um, I did like the twist. I loved how it was Hank Pym all along. That was pretty dope. I love how like yeah, all the Avengers are dead. And then they recreate the donut scene with Tony. That was pretty funny. The humor in this was a lot better, in my opinion. I thought it was just it really all the comedy in here really hit for me. The only thing I did not like was the fact that Loki comes in. Loki comes in, right? How the hell did he find out that his brother died? That's what I want to know. And
Heimdall,
then
he sees all.
oh, that's true. Okay, we'll give you that one. But Hank Pym is killing all the Avengers. Thor, Thor was not. He was just like a last minute kind of recruit. So how the hell did Hank Pym know that they were going to recruit Thor when it was kind of like even Samuel Jackson says, "Wait, I want to see what he does." Like that, like he pretty much killed all the Avengers, but he didn't know Thor was an Avenger. That's the only gripe I really had about it.
Hmm. They mentioned in the episode though, when Fury or Loki is fighting Hank Pym, they're like, "Why Thor?" And then he's like, "Oh, you would have recruited him in a heartbeat." So he did mention it, but also it could have just been like a guy, you know. He didn't know that that was the Thor. So, but it's
Yeah,
also Hank Pym's crazy. Don't they say that? Didn't he say in the Ant-Man movie, like the longer you're in the suit, the more toll it takes on your body and your head? So I feel like that was also coming into play here.
yeah. Yellow Jacket is a big example of that too, because they said that in that film, the first Ant-Man movie as well. You're absolutely right. What about you, Chase? What are the things you liked and disliked about the episode?
I think you're right about the comedy being a little bit better on here. This one, I feel like the comedy kind of worked with the characters better. Like it fit the characters more, so I think it worked better. Because I felt like in the earlier episodes, like Thanos' comedic part in the second episode, really bugged me. I don't know how you guys felt about that, but I did not like Thanos.
Mhm.
It just felt weird and off character. And then,
He was degraded for
he
sure,
was
power
very
wise.
degraded, yeah, in every
Yeah,
sense of way. But this one did a good job on the comedy aspect. I think it fit like Black Widow and Samuel L. Jackson, especially like the Captain Marvel version of how Samuel L. Jackson did his comedy and stuff.
that's absolutely right. Captain Marvel showed up at the end of this. Albert was
Yeah.
probably screaming his little head off, saying,
Oh, he was all a little happy.
"Yay!"
A
Dude,
little
when
happy.
he started walking to the car, I literally went like this, and he's like, "Who's going?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" And I was like, "He's gonna go get the pager." But
Yeah.
also,
that
I
that
knew
was
the
cool.
spoilers. I knew that it was Hank Pym all along. I
Really.
knew what this like what was gonna happen this episode because these first three episodes of press had gotten like from the first week
Hmm.
or the week before what it started.
Yeah.
So I'd already known what the first three episodes were about.
Um, see,
So
I
So
didn't. I didn't see
it
the
wasn't a
Hank Pym
surprise to
thing
me.
coming. That one came. That one was a shock to me, and it was a great twist. I think that because I was wondering like who the hell could kill all these Avengers? Like
Mm-hmm.
who has the capability? The Hulk was the big one for me. Like I was kind of like that. Like how is that? How do you kill? And
so
then was Hank
do
Pym. I was like I kind of get it. I'm like Hulk is. It's like really hard to believe Hulk is killed, but I kind of get it. I'm like okay, I see. And it
that was
made
pretty hard, right? I mean, it was
yeah
kind of like how the hell did the Hulk just die right now?
yeah
And like I don't know. I don't know if I'm like 50-50 on that demise. But it was pretty funny
yeah
to see the Mark Ruffalo version of
Mm-hmm.
Banner than the
That
Edward
was,
Norton one.
yeah.
mhm.
I didn't necessarily like. I'm sad that they didn't get Liv Tyler for Betty Ross. I didn't like the voice actress of Betty Ross, but I think they did a good job. The voice actress who did Black Widow is the same voice actress who plays Poison Ivy in the Harley Quinn anime series on HBO Max. So I thought she did a great job. I did like the murder mystery, like I said. Fury using Black Widow, Natasha to like kind of find out who's involved in all this. Action sequences were pretty good. The Loki part. What you guys think about the Loki coming down and just taking over and ruling everybody?
I liked it because well I liked Loki and stuff and it made sense like this version of the universe whatever Loki gets his win because the Avengers aren't there to stop him. He like Thor doesn't gain his power back because he dies immediately, so he takes control of kind of Asgard and has his power there, so he brings down the army and he's just able to take over the world with ease, like able to kind of just walk in, take it, and have no issues. So I like that aspect because it is that like, hey, if the Avengers all die, if they're dead, there's no one to stop Loki. Of course, at the end, there's that. It's like, okay, we gotta, got Captain Marvel and we're getting Captain America. There's hope, There, Nick Fury always has that hope. Yeah,
I like how you said Hope because Hope Van Dyke dies in this and is dead in this universe.
yeah. In
That
this
was
version,
crazy that she did become a shield agent in this universe and she died.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you like the Loki stuff, Albert?
I did, but I feel like I know this takes place in 2010, so 2 years before the events of Avengers. So
Yeah.
like Loki isn't aligned with Thanos, I guess, and he doesn't hate his brother yet. I don't know, but I feel like it would have made more sense if it was Odin himself that came, and I
Yeah,
feel like that would have been more badass.
because
But
Odin's still. Oh no, I guess he's asleep, isn't he? I thought he
no,
was
this is the
asleep in
Thor
the first
one.
one. Yeah, Thor 1 wasn't he? Wasn't he asleep? I can't remember. It's been
No,
so
that was
long
Thor
since I've
2.
seen. I've only seen like Thor 1 once and Thor 2 once, and I hate Thor 2 with a passion.
Thor 2 is terrible.
So yeah, so the big time YouTubers, reviewers, they did get these first 3 episodes. I did hear the non-spoiler reviews just to get the feel of like what they thought about these 3 episodes. Of course, good old I think it was Grace Randolph absolutely said that these were episodes were great, they'll blow your mind, blah blah blah, really hyping it up. And I'm honestly like I'm okay with them. I don't think they're the greatest thing like since sliced bread. I think there's some really cool elements to it. Like I said, I think it gets better and better as it goes. So this episode was, it's kind of hard because I do like the Chadwick Boseman one, but you're right, Chase. Like Thanos and some of the stuff, and even the Collector. To me, like, why the hell is he
Yeah.
so buff? But I am enjoying it. But right away, I'm just like, I wanted better. I thought it was maybe a little bit too hyped. I kind of want better, but for what it is, it's fine. But this episode, for sure, I think it's probably the better episode, just because you also get Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury, and Nick Fury is really, I think he was great in this episode. This is like the Nick Fury that I was so like, I want this Nick Fury. I don't want the Nick Fury from Captain Marvel. This is the Nick Fury I know. And of course, bringing back Coulson. It's so good to see those two working together again. I never watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I hear Kevin Feige pretty much said that that's not even canon anymore. So
Everything's canon.
everything's canon, but Kevin Feige does not like the TV, anything that has to do before this Disney Plus, because the guy who was running those shows, he absolutely hated him. He didn't want to do Inhumans. They were kind of forcing Kevin Feige to do that. So whatever Kevin Feige doesn't like, he kind of throws it to the side. Yeah, it's kind of you could think about as part of the multiverse, but even this. So I guess here's the question. All right. So they said this is going to be part of the multiverse. Are we still thinking that there's going to be a big team up at the end? Because you now have, this different kind of, from every different episode we've seen, is somebody going to get pulled out of there and team up at the end of this series?
I don't know if it'll be from every episode, but I do think that characters from certain episodes will get pulled out and team up at the end. Like, I don't know who will get pulled out from this episode.
Yeah,
there's no different. There's Captain America and Captain Marvel now.
Ooh, that's right. That was a dope. I was like, oh shit! Yeah, I forgot Captain's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that in my head, like, is he like? There's another Avenger in the main Avengers. Like, where is he? Like, I know, just still frozen ice. Have they gone and just like killed him and while he's in ice, or what's going on here? And that was just never. Yeah, they just came out into the end, brought him back and showed him. I was like, okay, so let's see how it goes.
You got the two captains. You got Captain America, and then you got Captain Marvel. So they should be teaming up.
Carter.
I don't know. Well, Captain Carter, I really think they're going to really bank on Captain Carter at the end of this whole thing. What If series, I think, is 2. Season 2 is already a go. They want to actually do stories from the Phase 4 storylines. So whatever we get at Phase 4. So What If 2, coming out maybe next year, 2 years from down the line, maybe 2 years down the line?
I think every summer a new season will come out.
I can see them doing it in another year. If they're already ready for season 2, they're probably getting prepared for that.
Well, they're already prepared for Loki, so
that's true.
Yeah, I love that, Captain America is still alive. And I think that at the end, for me, what I thought was like, it doesn't matter if the main roster dies. There's always going to, as long as Nick Fury is still alive, there's still going to be a different group of Avengers. You could even be the Dark Avengers,
Yeah.
And you still have War Machine also.
Yeah. War Machine. Yeah, Iron Man 2. Yeah.
Yeah, Iron Man 2. He has his first suit, the basic suit, the hammer suit.
Now, I wonder if they used some voice work from the movie, because that really sounded like Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark in the beginning. I don't think that was the other actor who's playing him later on when we get the Killmonger episode. I think they actually used stock footage or voice work from the film into this episode.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really solid episode. We're gonna rate it right now because I know what we all want to talk about. And so far, What If has been a pretty okay series for me. It's getting better, so I'm really looking forward to the Spider-Man Supreme episode, the zombie episode, and then also I'm very interested to see how that Killmonger episode plays out as well. T'Challa's supposed to be coming back, so I'm interested in those episodes. But for this particular episode, What If episode 3 out of 5, I would give it a solid. I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I actually really did enjoy this episode.
What about the other two?
The other two, the first one was just really fast paced. I'd give that actually. I really love Agent Carter, but I felt like that was just it just went by so quickly and they rehashed it. I'd give that a 2 out of 5. The it's funny because the next episode with T'Challa, I'd give it a. I really enjoyed that episode, so I'd give it for personal me liking it. I would give it a 4 out of 5 too, personally. So 4 out of 5 on the episode 2, 4 out of 5 on episode 3, 2 out of 5 on episode 1. But I do love the idea of Peggy. So what do you guys give it?
I'll go. I'm going 4 out of 5 for this episode. And I'll go 3 out of 5 for the other two. Still found them really enjoyable. I love Carter. I love Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. I love him being Star-Lord. I thought it was really cool that he was more of a cool person than Peter Quill being Star-Lord. And I will say something about interesting about this episode that I just thought about too, though, is the first 2 episodes. It kind of gave you the reason to why this multiverse is different, like the decisions that were made that made this episode different. While this one we didn't learn till the twist towards the end why the Avengers are being killed off. Like we didn't learn that it was because of Hope being an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and dying. So that's something I did like about this episode. It kind of twisted that up because in the beginning I was like, okay, this is what if Avengers die, but like, what was the thing that made what's the thing that's making the Avengers die? And so I really love this episode because it made me think of that's not only are we trying to figure out the mystery of the killer, but we're also thinking the mystery of why is this happening compared to why is this happening? Why didn't it happen in the original universe? So that's why one of the reasons I really enjoy this episode. 4 out of 5.
Cool, good. What about you, Mr. Marvel?
I'll try to go quick, but with Captain Carter's episode, I would say that one I'd give a 3 out of 5. I liked it.
I thought you were going to say 4 out of 5. I'm like, you better stop being biased. You better stop it, Albert.
There's so many things in it that they could have done something crazier. Like they could have done the Winter Soldier storyline with Steve instead.
Yes,
that would have been to me the most interesting. But they didn't, and I still like it. But they could have gone crazier with it. So 3 out of 5. The T'Challa Star-Lord episode, I would say it's a 4 out of 5. Yeah, Thanos was kind of weird, like seeing him, but it was still like seeing what would happen if T'Challa was Star-Lord was amazing to me. And just like Peter Star-Lord or T'Challa Star-Lord the universe is better off with him as Star-Lord because you saw like Nebula is doing good, Drax is doing good. I don't know where Gamora is. But like it's just I liked seeing that it was a happier universe with T'Challa's Star-Lord, and there's like a cliffhanger at the end that maybe we'll see in another episode with Ego meeting Peter, and the Watcher even says it's a story for another time. So I'll give that one a 4, and this one I'm gonna give it a 5 honestly because I really enjoyed it. I did just watch it, so maybe it's because of that too. It's still fresh in my head, but it's just the craziest, and it has the most change in the universe because so many things will be different because of these deaths. You don't get the stories of Thor 2 or 3. You don't get the stories of Age of Ultron or like Civil War. Like it's just gonna be crazy. So I hope that we see these stories continue in like season 2. I don't know, maybe they'll continue some of them. I know Captain Carter for sure. They've already confirmed that she's going to be like in every season of What If, and we're going to see her again in a later episode, but I don't know about like this. I don't know if we'll see episode 3 continued, but I hope so.
You're absolutely right. I love how you point. So we got to point that out is that every episode it seems to be changing. Like it seems to not be a rehash. It seems to be actual new stuff we haven't seen, new scenarios where Agent Carter, it was kind of a rehash of the first Avenger, Captain America, just with a little twist. Then you got a What If with T'Challa, which is probably the most of what if of like character based wise, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I think this episode was more of scenario wise because you have Loki taking over, and then you also have maybe a new Avengers team that wasn't the original, never, the original. So I do like the fact that as we keep going on, it starts getting a little bit more crazier and a little bit more. We got to stay on our toes because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, but the Hank Pym being, the one that did it, with Thanos being, he kind of reminded me of Punisher Thanos. You ever seen that Funko Pop? Where it's
Mm-hmm.
like Punisher Thanos to me. But yeah, I'm digging that they're actually changing it up every episode, and I think the most change is probably going to be that zombie episode or that Spider-Man Supreme episode, or even Doctor Strange in general.
The Spider-Man Supreme episode is the same episode as the zombie episode.
Yeah, that's gonna be nuts. I want them to dive into more horror, since we are getting Blade in this series. I would love for them to dive a little bit more into to that kind of element. But I think we all agree What If so far is, not being too bad. We'll see what happens in these next episodes. Of hopefully it's a little bit more of a game changer. So we're gonna move on
Want to
from
know
What
what the
If.
next episode is?
Yeah, what the next episode I think is actually, what is it? I thought I read
I'm
somewhere.
pretty sure that it's what if Doctor Strange joined Dormammu.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a
that's
good
cool.
one. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
and
I
I know
like
it's
that.
the Doctor Strange episode, but I think that's what it's called.
What's great is that Benedict Cumberbatch is reprising his role, and if I wanted anybody to reprise a role, definitely him. And I'll explain why, because we're gonna move on from What If, and oh my god! So I saw the leak, but of course Sony had their CinemaCon drops. They talked. What did they talk? They talked Venom, of course, which got, I believe, pushed back to 2022.
That's what
We'll
I've
talk.
heard. Yep.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. The what's that one famous big video game that everybody's Tom Holland's in and Mark Wahlberg's in?
Oh, Uncharted.
Uncharted. Mm-hmm.
Uncharted. They had Uncharted, Matrix 4 title reveal, Matrix Resurrections, a really stupid name, and they got the plot summary on there, and I guess they dropped a trailer. So Sony was at it, but the biggest thing that has been breaking records, when it came out, everybody got on their phone, computer, they got out of their porn, they went straight to this one, and it was Spider-Man No Way Home trailer number 1. You guys know I'm a huge ass Spider-Man fan. I mean, he's my number 2. Batman's always going to be my number 1. I think Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man out of all three, because he's more close to the animated series to me, because I think he's going to grow even more in this role when he gets older and they season Spider-Man. But I have been going back after watching the trailer, and I've been watching a lot of Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man clips, going back to seeing William Dafoe's The Green Goblin, definitely going back to seeing Doc Ock, Alfred Molina. And I actually been going back and watching a lot of clips from Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I gotta say, Andrew Garfield, I'm actually more excited because I don't like those movies. But I think he is actually a fantastic Spider-Man, but not a good Peter Parker. So, No Way Home trailer dropped. Guys, I think there's this meme going off, and everybody said after we watched WandaVision, after we watched Loki, like, shit, this Doctor Strange has to clean all this up. But in the trailer, I couldn't help but, this is the one that stayed the most, was like, Doctor Strange is the one that just messes it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Wong warned him, and I think that is Doctor Strange who does cast a spell. But I think later on we might get a Mysterio as Doctor Strange, because I think Mysterio is going to be in this film. We do see Lizard. If blink and you'll miss him.
Now people think it's either Lizard or Venom. People have gone back and forth.
Lizard. It can't. I think Venom might be post credit. Honestly,
Okay.
in my opinion. Electro, Sandman, Green Goblin's Laughed, and of course Doc Ock. I am super hyped, guys. I know you guys want to talk about Spider-Man. Let's talk about Spider-Man, guys. What does this trailer mean to you? What do you think is going to happen? Me and Chase actually have a bet of who Doc Ock is saying hello Peter to. Chase, you think it's
I think it's to his Peter Parker. I think it's to his universe Peter Parker. I think he's saying, "Hey Peter," to the Peter that he knows, the Peter that he fought against in his universe. I think he's saying it to Tobey Maguire.
and I think it is Tom Holland's Peter Parker, but as you saw the scene, he's wearing his suit. He's wearing a suit. I believe he's going to court and stuff, which is very similar to the suit that Toby wears, I believe, in Spider-Man 3 or 2. I can't remember. But I think when that hole comes and Doc Ock is about to come out, I think Peter is still in a suit, but then he goes into his nanotech spider suit, and then Doc Ock sees just a Spider-Man suit, and he just assumes it's Toby. That's why he says, and he knows who Spider-Man is. That's why he says,
Yeah.
hello, Peter. So we got, how much did we got on that? We got 20?
$20.
$20.
You wanted to go 50, and I said I'm too broke to lose that.
Yeah. So I believe it's actually Tom Holland that he's speaking
I'm
to.
definitely going out on a limb, but
I don't think we'll see the two Spider-Mans until the third act of the film, honestly. So Albert, what do you think? Do you think it's Tom or do you think it's Toby? Or do you think it's Andrew?
I'll tell you that I think he doesn't even say it in the movie.
Really?
I'm just kidding. No,
he better say that shit in the movie.
Well, there's a chance he might not, but I think if he does say it, it's to Tom Holland. But I was thinking the same as you, because in the trailer, he comes out and then it shows Tom Holland suit up. But I think in the movie, as soon as he sees like the claw, or maybe not even before that, he suits up, and then Doc Ock sees the Spider-Man suit, and he's like, "Oh, Peter." And then also I was thinking, this is crazy, but I don't think it'd be this. But this they're from the multiverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe this is Doc Ock from multiverse where he knows his Peter Parker looks like Tom Holland, but then they get Tobey Maguire who knows that's Doc Ock. I don't know. They can do something crazy. I don't think they'll go that convoluted though.
Well, Alfred Molina, the actor who plays Doc Ock, did say, and by the way, great de-aging, because they de-aged his face.
Did they?
And I really love his new look, because I went back to the Doc Ock, of course, and he was bigger, but now he's thinner in this one, and he just has a nice. I really like the look that they gave him, but he stated he's the one that spoiled everything. He's the one. That's why I said that they were probably gonna, if they were gonna reveal anybody, it was gonna be Doc Ock. He said that his Doc Ock takes place right after the events of Spider-Man 2. So he's in the ocean, he's in the ocean, he's drowning, and maybe gets sucked out of it. And maybe that's not the first time we see him in the film like we saw in the trailer. We probably get an establishing of him getting into Tom Holland's world, and then he goes and fights Tom Holland later on. So I'm super hyped, man. When he said hello Peter, like he nailed that freaking line, man.
Bro, he's killer. His acting is just on point, dude. Even that little scene just got everyone just going nuts. Just that little sentence he says.
I think people forget that Alfred Molina in Spider-Man 2 is absolutely phenomenal. I would actually, just bringing it back. I'm glad that they're bringing him back, because now we could really appreciate how fantastic of a Dr. Octopus he was. He was a fantastic Dr. Octopus in that film.
Yeah.
And that film has so many great action sequences. I'm kind of sad that Sam Raimi isn't directing a little bit of this film. It's John Watts. I think John Watts has done a good job in the first two. Second one, I didn't like as much as the first one. But I think people are super hyped about this. What are you guys looking forward to the most going into this film? And I have to say, I'm looking forward to the Doctor Strange, Stephen. It's a little weird, but I'll allow it. Stephen Strange and Peter's interaction. I think that's going to be pretty dope. That's the new kind of Tony and Peter thing going on right there. What are you guys looking forward to?
I'm looking most forward to see how Toby and Andrew come onto the screen. And I'm terrified because I know with Spider-Man Homecoming, they spoiled Iron Man coming to like save the ship, right? And that would have
Yeah.
been cool to see for the first time in the movie theater, not knowing that Iron Man was going to come out right there. So I know that it's all about the money at the end of the day. And how are they going to break records and sell tickets is if they show in the trailer 3 Spider-Mans or 2 Spider-Mans. So I hope they don't spoil that.
I
But
disagree, man. I think word of mouth will do that.
what?
I think they're gonna. It doesn't matter, man. Everybody knows it's like the biggest non-kept secret, but they don't have to show Toby or Andrew. People look at the trailer views. People are gonna go watch this film, and if it's not world breaking in the beginning, word of mouth will tell people to go watch this film because Andrew and Toby are in it. So people will come in. So there's those second week drops, right? I don't think this movie's gonna drop severely at all. I think this movie's going to stay up there. It's going to be like a Star Wars New Hope kind of thing when it first hit. I think people are going to lose their minds.
Well, I just hope they don't show them in the second trailer.
I hope
know
they don't
do
either.
one more, and I feel like this next trailer will come out the end of October. That's all I'm scared of because, like, sometimes Marvel trailers they do show too much. Like Shang-Chi, they showed the dragon in the trailer, and I told you I wish I wouldn't have known or seen the dragon. I wish when I saw the movie it would have been the first time. So
Yeah.
hopefully they do it like Endgame and they just show the first like quarter of the movie. I never saw the Endgame trailer, but that's what I heard it was. It was just like the first quarter of the movie and some bits of the final action sequence.
And I think that's exactly what they did for this trailer.
I think so too.
I think they pulled that playbook right there because there's like if it's like showing a little bit of like more of the they're showing quite a bit of the movie or whatever, then that's not a lot of time for Toby or Andrew. I could see like the movie and how it is. I'm like, if this is like a lot of the movie in general, like I don't see a lot of time of the having for the other Spider-Mans, and that's not good. Then we got a Spider-Man 3 kind of thing going on, and nobody wants a Spider-Man 3.
The trailer that we saw, I think, is all like within the first hour of the movie. And I feel like the movie's probably going to be 2.5 hours long.
I think you have to make this a long movie for sure.
Yep, at least 2.5.
Chase, another big Spider-Man fan right there.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? What are you looking forward to?
God, there's so much to look forward to, and there's so much for this movie to hold up on hype. Like, there's just too much to think. But one thing I've been wanting to see a lot of in the film and the Spider-Man movies and all this stuff is Spider-Man. The best thing Spider-Man does, it's the best in the Marvel universe for its villains.
Mm-hmm.
Its villains of all the best things about Marvel, like Spider-Man in general, from the comics and everything. And so far in the Marvel universe, we've had killer villain in both Mysterio and
Vulture.
Keaton, Vulture. Yeah, and like so far I've done good jobs, and I want to see Sinister Six become a thing, and that's what, to me, it seems like it's pointing towards, of course. And Amazing Spider-Man tried to do it; they failed miserably. But I think what this movie is doing right is you're just bringing in already established amazing villains that we loved from the other Spider-Mans and bringing them in. And so, if this is the Sinister Six coming alive, I'm very excited to see Doc Ock from the best Spider-Man movie and Spider-Man 2, seeing hopefully.
I disagree on that.
Don't talk. Not counting animated movies.
Oh, bullshit! That counts. Into the Spider-Verse is exactly what I'm.
Okay.
No Way Home. I am not comparing it to Endgame, Homecoming, and you know what I'm comparing it to? Into the Spider-Verse, because that is probably the best superhero movie or best Spider-Man movie in my opinion. But that's top 3 best superhero movies I've ever seen in my life.
But yeah,
how much I love that movie.
I know. I'm just saying,
theater.
I have a childhood love for Spider-Man too. All right, but still, like we get Doc Ock and you got Willem Dafoe. If you bring him back with his Green Goblin, dude, oh my God! If you have him with Michael Keaton as Vulture, with Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, with Sandman, dude, like that, like bringing these guys together, these amazing actors who have already crushed it as the villains, would just be awesome to see together. And I don't know if this movie's going to be able to pull it off, if they do it, what they're looking at, but that's what I want to see. Is I love a good villain in every superhero story, Spider-Man is one of the best. So I'm super curious to see how these villains mesh together and how they how Spider-Man's gonna have to face them, how the Spider-Mans are gonna have to face them.
Well, I said, like, I think this is one movie's not enough. I think you signed Toby and Andrew and everybody else for at least 2 movies.
Yeah.
Give me 2 movies, or if you continue it in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, that'd be kind of crazy. Because that movie's already jam packed, right, Albert?
That movie is better be like 4 hours long.
Yeah. I will say, so I never wanted a Sinister Six in the big screen because I felt like it wasn't the right time. I felt like they were screwing it up. I felt like Amazing Spider-Man was trying to rush that, and I'm like, I don't want it. Don't even do it because you're not going to do it justice. This is the right time. Bringing established villains into the multi, and not even bringing like all of Amazing, like it's a mix of both bags. I like Electro, Jamie Foxx. I think he could work with a different design and everything. I love William Dafoe. This guy is awesome, man. He's a cool guy too. He has the laugh. He needs to be the Joker at some point down the line for DC. But him as the Green Goblin, give him a new badass suit, a more creepier design. Oh, baby, you give me the one from the comics. I'm all aboard.
I'll show you the leaked suit.
Oh, you better send me that. I want to take a look at that design work. Who else is so they're bringing in the Lizard. So I think the Lizard was actually really good in Amazing Spider-Man 1. I don't know if they're bringing back the actual actor who played him, but all I asked for is maybe a snout instead of a freaking villain from Mario Brothers movie. I would like a snout on the Lizard. Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal is great. I think you're bringing so much of the best of all these worlds. Yeah. I will say, guys, though, the underdog I'm looking forward to and seeing, because we talk Toby. Of course, everybody wants to see Tobey Maguire. Everyone wants to see him cry again on the big screen for like the fucking 40th time. Bring back the dance a little bit.
My childhood. I love it.
The underdog in this is Andrew Garfield, though.
Yeah.
I think Andrew Garfield going back, man, this dude he's another guy like Tom Holland who was passionate about Spider-Man. So a lot of his quips that he did, and he moves like what's great about Mark Webb and his version of Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield is so lengthy and skinny. He actually moved like a spider. He did a lot of things like a spider. When he fought the Lizard and he's in the sewage, and remember he whips the webs, and so he has like a little channel line. So when when the little lizards are on the web, he knows where like the lizard's coming from. That scene is dope. He does a lot of talking. There's too much talking. He actually has people die in the second movie. He could have stopped the Rhino right away, but the Rhinos keep on going while he's talking shit. But he's very comic accurate. I just didn't like him as Peter Parker. But I still want to see him. And if they bring Emma Stone in this as Spider-Gwen, holy shit. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I believe, is the one that did it right. So I'm very curious to see what they could do with this live action. And one of my favorite things I can't wait for is Charlie Cox is coming back as Daredevil. And he's going to be Peter's lawyer. I freaking love that. I want a Spider-Man and Daredevil movie or something, a TV series. Tom Holland would probably agree to do a Disney Plus show because he's not big-headed. I can't wait to see Charlie Cox, and I want to see how he looks, if he still looks the same as the Daredevil in the Netflix series. So what else you guys got, man? What do you guys think? I mean, with the trailer hit, we saw that Stephen Strange uses a spell, right? Is that, and then I guess Peter won't shut up. So it's kind of implied that because Peter's going back and forth that the spell kind of goes awry. What do you think about this? What do you think? Do you think there's going to be, does that mean there's not too much of a connection to Loki, Kang? Do you think Kang will make an appearance? What do you guys think about all this?
Chase, you can go first.
I don't know. There's a lot to theorize. I think out of all the Marvel movie trailers that I've ever seen, like this is the one where there's a lot of directions this can go, and it's constantly wondering how are they going to fit in everything. what are they going to fit in? What do they want to do? They have a lot of different lanes to kind of go down. I was on the kind of track that I don't know if that, I mean, I'm not sure who it would be, but that it's not Doctor Strange. Like I've heard that theory that it's not Doctor Strange in the beginning that does the spell, that it's someone else, kind of like Peter making a deal with the devil or some bad guy, not
Mephisto.
realizing it. Mephisto, that's who it is. I was trying to remember the villain
I
or
will
whatever.
say
And
though, they're saying that they're taking the storyline from One More Day, the comic book storyline where Mephisto, he makes a deal with Peter and Mary Jane in the comics, like Aunt May's dead and stuff, and in exchange to bring Aunt May, he erases like Mary Jane and their marriage or their memories and stuff. So it's kind of similar to that. Sorry about that, Chase. Go for it.
No, and that's like I can see that because I don't know. I did find it weird that Doctor Strange was agreeing to do this thing that his buddy Juan was saying was so dangerous. Like, is this like it caused all this trouble and all this issue? It seems like why is Doctor Strange just willingly just wanting to do this for Peter? And so that's where I can see Doctor Strange not being it, and then Doctor Strange coming in later being like, Peter, you screwed this up. Now I have to fix it, kind of thing. And I did hear another fun theory that it was, I don't think this one's true, but that it's kind of like A Wonderful Life, where Doctor Strange is kind of just actually just showing him what it like shit that can happen or whatever.
Oh,
or
people
like
would
that.
be so pissed. Yeah.
That would piss a lot of people off.
Piss a lot of people off.
But that was an interesting theory. But man, I mean, there's just, I mean, I just say, hey, this trailer, man, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I really don't. This is probably one of the most hypes I've ever been for one of the Marvel movies. Like, it's up there to me with Endgame and just seeing what they do and where they go. And I could really want to see a scene. I saw it today. I was like, oh, this would be awesome. Where Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield are like, all right, need to reload my web shooters. And Tobey Maguire's just there being like, you got a web shooter?
I want that scene so bad.
I do too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just out of my skin. And both of them are like, what the hell?
Exactly. Like I gotta reload my web shooters. And it's funny because in Amazing Spider-Man, they do showcase him reloading those web shooters. Mm-hmm. And Tom Holland too. They showcase that, especially in the first one in the boat. Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that the web shooter. And Tom Holland came out and said that Andrew Garfield's web shooters doesn't make any sense, which I fucking love. That he said that. Albert, what about you, man? What you thinking?
Oh man, there's just so much to talk about. But here's what I'm thinking. So you know how earlier you said that we thought Wanda's going to create the multiverse, and then we thought Loki, but it's like Doctor Strange. I feel like with the Infinity Stones, it wasn't like one person that like had them, right? Like they were all around, and they were like getting passed around, and then they like caught the attention of others. Like the Tesseract being used on her caught the attention of other people. I feel like something similar is going to happen where it's not just one thing that creates the multiverse, it's multiple things. So what we saw in Loki, Wanda becoming the Scarlet Witch, and now Doctor Strange doing this, like they're messing with the multiverse, and all of these things happening is what's going to cause it to like explode or whatever. So I feel like it's not not just Doctor Strange. I think the other two things also have something to do with it.
Well, that's a great point because in Loki they they show you in a cartoon form the different kind of strands of the multiverse. How nuts would it be if I can't remember if well, let's say Loki, right? Loki's the one that really kicks the thing going.
Yeah.
How crazy would it be that maybe Doctor Strange's spell that goes awry gets the Spider-Man different variants, but Loki actually there's a different, and Kang and their whole thing, they get like the X-Men to come along or the Fantastic Four to come in along. You know what I mean? So you got different periods, but there's different strands of the timeline, and different kind of beings or people are coming out of that timeline. That's just me throwing that out there. When I came back to this channel after fucking 4 years or whatever, One of the first videos I did was I talked about the Spider-Man and how Sony and Disney don't mess it up. I'm excited, but I'm scared because they could obviously mess this film up and it'd be devastating. They messed up Becky Lynch's return, WWE. Sorry, just throwing that little shade out there. But what I said though, what I said was, you know, the one thing that's missing with the Tom Holland one, and I know it's been beating over the head, but I think it's a big part of Spider-Man and who he is and his responsibilities is where the fuck is Ben Parker?
Yep.
Where's Uncle Ben? Where
He
is
died
Tom
already.
Holland's Uncle Ben? I hope that when the three spiders come together, that there is moments where they do have downtime and they get to talk. Like Into the Spider-Verse, what I love about it is you get Peter B. Parker with Miles Morales, and then you have this like student and teacher kind of relationship. But then you get Gwen coming in, then you get the other spider, and you get all their backstories and you get all why they're there and who they lost, you know. I hope that with Tom Holland, he's able to at least acknowledge or open up. They'll probably have Tony again. I hope not. I'm done. You know, Tony, yes, was a big inspiration, but I hope that they do get something going on where they acknowledge and they talk about, you know, Ben, because I have not heard once Tom Holland even say, with great power comes great responsibility. And that this would be the perfect time to actually, you know, bring that up because he's just a kid going into like his college years, and I heard they want to do, of course, 3 with high school, 3 with college, and then 3 when he's adult. And I think that would be a perfect way to end the Spider-Man character for Tom Holland.
Yeah.
So I hope that, man. I hope they bring Ben Parker back, and I hope they acknowledge that. But I do also like the web shooter thing. So the 3 Spider-Mans. All right. Do you guys think that they're going to be in half the movie, or you think they're going to be in just the climax?
I'd say half or a third, like towards the end. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna come out initially. From what I've heard, is the villains come out in the start, like it's an accident, you know, and then I heard something, and then when I saw the trailer, I think it's real because you do see that in the trailer. So I feel like what I heard about the movie is true, but it's just like the beginning. And then I don't know, I haven't heard anything about how the other Spider-Man come along. And then also, is it just gonna be 2 Spider-Man do we get, or are we gonna get Silk or Spider-Gwen or Spider-Woman or
I
I
like
don't
how you
know.
brought up Silk because MJ does like make a comment like because in the newspapers they said that he could hypnotize women or whatever, hypnotize people. In the comics, him and Silk have this like magnetism where they can't control themselves, and they constantly they bang. They constantly bang because they were both bitten by the same spider. That's how
Mm-hmm.
Silk was created. So I mean, Sony wants to make a Silk series. I think it was an anime series or a movie. So Silk might come into play. And that's another thing. Do you
Might be a
think,
credit scene.
yeah, it might be. But do you guys think that Venom is going to come into this? Tom Hardy's Venom? Or
No, he might
Morbius?
come in the future, but I don't think they'll do it in this movie, and I don't see it as an after credit scene either. If anything, I feel like it'd be bigger if it was an after credit scene to the Venom movie than to the Spider-Man movie, because I feel like it would benefit the Venom movie more than this one.
Yeah, I can see that because Spider-Man doesn't need Venom, but I think the Venom movies kind of need to be put with Spider-Man more
Mm-hmm.
because the Spider-Man movies are more established. While the Venom first movie is like met with kind of some criticism. It's like some people like it, some people don't.
It made that money,
Um,
though. Did I call? I
made
called
money.
it
You said
right
it's gonna make
on
money.
it. I
Yeah,
told you. What did I say? Like 80 mil the first weekend?
yeah.
Something
I
like
remember you
that.
saying like, and we're like, nah, because it wasn't that good. But then it made a lot of money, and we're like,
It
oh
made like
crap, of course
90
it did.
something. So I was like right there on the
Yeah.
money. Yeah.
But if we're going back to how long the other Spider-Mans are going to be in, and who's going to be in it really, I can totally see them doing an Avengers Endgame thing where it's kind of like if they bring them in, the last minute to like the last battle to fight against these villains. Like Doctor Strange does the exact same thing he does in Endgame, where he's just like, "You need help, Spidey," and he brings in other Spider-Man at the same time, and brings in, and like I can totally see them doing that. I would love to see that Spider-Man into the Spideyverse thing too, where I think Tobey Maguire would be a better kind of mentor, but I think Andrew Garfield would be a lot of fun as well. Like they'd both be like a kind of parenting style to Tom Holland, which would be kind of cool. Like them being in majority of the movie, or at least a good chunk of it, where they're teaching him how to be a good Spider-Man. I think that would benefit the movie a lot. I think it'd be a lot of fun to see all three of them, especially with Andrew Garfield's quirkiness and Tom Holland's quirkiness. And, I think the Tobey Maguire with his age and stuff like that, being a little older, I think he'll be the more kind of refined one, the more grown-up one. So I would love to see them for a good chunk of the movie, teaching Tom Holland about what it's like, what it means to be Spider-Man. The responsibility that their uncles taught him.
And I think you absolutely hit it on the head, Chase, because I think this movie is all about that, because it's him. Everybody knows he's Spider-Man. And he wants to, he wants to get, he doesn't want to, he wants, he goes to Doctor Strange to like make a spell to make sure everybody erases everybody's memory, but he can't get it where like, so that means MJ's memory's going to be erased, Ned, Aunt May, but he doesn't, he's kind of like, well, I don't want this, you can't have it. That's the thing about Spider-Man, is when you're Spider-Man, once you don that, you're never going to have it, your way. That's why we love Spider-Man so much. And that's why Peter has gone back and forth of giving it up, but yet bringing it back, because he knows that he's the only one that has the ability to do this stuff. So that's going to be part of this movie. I think you nailed it on the head, Chase, is him, young Tom Holland, starting to grow up and being Spider-Man for a while, and having, I think, a mentor like Toby. Even Andrew is a lot better mentor than Tony, because Tony's never was Spider-Man. These guys were. Just like Into the Spider-Verse, when they tell Miles, I know what you're feeling when I lost my Uncle Ben, I lost my friend Peter Parker. Spider-Ham, I don't know who the fuck he lost. But we don't know who he lost. But
he lost Charlotte. Charlotte's
yeah. And then even Miles, he lost Uncle Aaron. So you nailed it on the head. Because my question is, like, they're bringing in Kristen Dunst, they're bringing in Karen from Daredevil, the actress who played Karen.
I heard that wasn't her. And that picture you're talking about, I heard it was somebody else. They just look like her.
I don't know. No, that was her. That's totally her.
She had a mask on and glasses.
Oh, wait. No. There's another picture of the two.
Oh, another one? All right. Yeah. Then I saw a different picture.
On location, having coffee, and it's literally the actress that's working.
Then, yeah, I saw a different picture then.
I don't know if Emma Stone is in it, because at the time, I think that she announced like she was pregnant and stuff. So I don't know. And then she's dead, but you could bring, how nuts would it be like if Chase is right and they bring like the two Spider-Mans out, but he brings more Spider-Mans out. Like he brings freaking 2099. He brings the clone Spider-Man.
Dude. Maybe that happens at the end. Yeah, I could see the first two, the Toby and Andrew might come out somewhere near the middle, and then at the very end, like hella Spider-Mans come out. That'd be crazy.
That'd be nuts. Maybe a Doc Ock Spider-Man.
But I don't want that to happen. I want these three to like be able to take them on.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, it's gonna be weird because Spider-Man's never killed anyone in any of the movies. It's always the villains end up accidentally killing themselves.
Dude, Amazing Spider-Man, they're all the villains like die.
Yeah, but he doesn't kill them, right?
No, and then Green Goblin dies in Sam Raimi's.
So is Doc Ock, kind of. I mean, he's supposed to die at least.
Yeah. Well, Green Goblin, Doc Ock,
no,
Venom.
Like they do die, but Spider-Man doesn't murder them.
Yeah,
no, he doesn't murder them. They just die
like,
too.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a Batman, Tim Burton Batman thing, where like he doesn't really kill, but he kind of does, Or I should say, Christopher Nolan.
Because now they're fighting multiple people, and it's like, are they just going to apprehend all of them, or are like they gonna accidentally kill each other? I don't know.
Send a way to send
In the
him back.
Spider-Man game, there is a Sinister Six, and
Yeah.
they don't die either. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, you
But-
still need to get Craven in there, who's played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. Jesus, I hate that casting. You also have. I don't think Electro's gonna have a lot of screen time if he is in it. I think it'll just be a big like reveal.
Yeah.
But what interests me though was that, of course, we see the the Electro attack. Well, a lot of people are theorizing because this is, I think, the Sandman from Sam Raimi's. And remember, he wasn't necessarily bad. He was actually, him and Toby, were good. They're saying that when you see all the sand and you see the electricity, that the Sandman is actually on Spider-Man's team.
side.
That's what it looked like
cool.
to me. It looked like he
Ooh.
put that wall to protect Spider-Man from getting electrocuted.
I gotta rewatch this trailer.
So, yeah,
Lucky
that's
says,
what it
I
looked like
seen
to
the
me.
doctor had the necklace. I seen the doctor had the necklace. I wonder what's in it. Oh, Strange?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Eye of Agamotto.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has it. We saw in the pop too. We're like, why does he have it? What's in it?
There's that, and then also you do see so eventually Doctor Strange and Spider have a little scuffle. And then you see him do exactly what the Ancient One did to Doctor Stephen Strange, the astro body thing. Peter's holding a box, and that box, I believe, is the box that they use to cause this spell. So at one point, there's going to be a little tussle between Peter and Doctor Strange. I'm not quite sure what's that all about. There's a lot of theories going out there what that's all about, but I'm not quite sure.
I can tell you what I heard from what I think is real, but I don't know if you guys want to hear it. It might be a spoiler from what that box is.
I'm so curious.
I am
It's
curious.
at the chase. It's at the
Yeah.
chase.
I want to know.
It's not like a big spoiler.
And it's not like ginormous.
It's not going to ruin the movie or anything. It's not like a big reveal.
I would like to know.
It's that that box is what contains the villains. So the villains come out and Doctor Strange catches them all, puts them in the box, but Peter feels guilty. And
I heard about that, yeah.
That's what that box is. He's trying to release them because he feels guilty. That's what I heard.
It's like a prison. Like a prison. I mean, man. I just hope that the Spider-Mans do get that time together, you know?
I hope so too. What I really want to hear is like Andrew ask, and also Toby asked Tom Holland, like, oh, how's Gwen here? How's MJ here? Like Mary Jane. And then him be like, I don't know those people. Because MJ in his world is
not
Michelle,
Mary Jane.
right?
Yeah, it's not Mary Jane. Which
So
I
that's what
hated,
wanna know.
but I got around to liking it actually. Because you know what? The chemistry really fits those two, and the characters really fit the two. So I'm okay with it now. Before I didn't like it.
I want them to ask him about Harry and him just be like, who the fuck is Harry?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, so when Tom is going to the court and he's with Zendaya or MJ and Ned, and back of them is actually Flash Thompson, and he has
nice.
He has blonde hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so more comic accurate. So
Venom.
yeah, not that Flash.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, I've always hated that casting a little bit because I'm like, they can never make him Venom. They can never do.
Well,
anything
it's all
with
about Brock. If they bring Tom into this universe, so let's get into that. Okay, guys. All right. Let There Be Carnage. That trailer dropped, and I think they showed quite a bit at CinemaCon. I'm not quite sure. I didn't read all of it, but first of all, Chase, we saw Venom together, the first movie.
It was one of my favorite viewings ever.
Oh my god! When I called in, I was like, he's gonna jump into the lobster tank. Like right when he went into there, and I saw a lobster tank, he's gonna jump into the fucking lobster tank.
We laughed so hard during that whole movie.
But I do like Tom Hardy, and I do like their version of Venom, like the look of it. The voice is what really gets me. I love the voice. So Let There Be Carnage should have came out in October, but now they're gonna push it maybe push it back to 2022. I don't know if it's super confirmed, but I think they're going to do it. I don't know if it's because of the Delta virus or whatever. And then they got what? How do you say it, Albert? Morbius? I always get it wrong.
Morbius, I believe.
Morbius. I still remember him in the animated series. I'm surprised not in Blade. So, are we gonna? Is this universe connected with Sony's universe?
I don't think so.
Is Tom gonna be in with Tom Holland? Not in necessarily this movie, but later on movies.
I can see it later on. Like, I'd say phase 1 of the Spider-Man movies are the first 3. Phase 2 will be the next 3. I can see him coming on the next like phase of the Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think they'll do it here. I mean, you know how all the villains are coming back? It'd be crazy if the symbiote comes back and it just like escapes and no one knows, and then that's the after credit scene. It was the symbiote attaching.
Then you
to,
can
like,
have a different Venom. Oh yeah.
Well, it can be Tom Hardy, like he's like, and it just attaches to him. And, like they could use the same actor.
Bring back Topher Grayson.
Or no, I think if they bring back Venom, it'll just be the symbiote. But like since it does,
they
it's
can
not a
never
person,
bring
it
back.
can easily like escape. So now that I think about that, I would love that. I could see that happening.
I like the look of Carnage. I just don't like Woody Harrelson as Carnage.
I don't like him at all.
I love him as an actor. Fucking Twinkie guy, Twinkies, getting Twinkies and shit. But like him as Carnage, it's still ridiculous, the wig and stuff. I don't like it.
I feel like they partly got him just because they can say they got Woody Harrelson. Like that's what I feel like with Carnage.
I feel like they got him because of Natural Born Killers, where he plays a psychotic killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's old, and I don't want him in that role. But we'll see how the movie is. Just real quick, Lucky did say, I forgot about this. It was probably one of the funnier moments, is when Black Widow in What If Episode 3 asked Coulson for the password. And it was what? I Heart Captain America or something?
It's I Heart Steve.
0704.
And then also the Thor hair was pretty funny too. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, we got a guy and he's got amazing hair. Him and Hawkeye's. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna Sony and they renamed it too. They named it like Sony's Spider-Man universe or something like that. They literally gave it a name where it's their own universe. But I mean, Disney wants to buy Spider-Man, so I think they will eventually. I think they're gonna get Spider-Man. You know, they're gonna get him. Money talks, and Disney's got the money. But yeah, with Spider-Man, I am looking forward to this film, but I hope that they do make another film with all 3 of them, or at least Sony. If you're gonna do your own universe, please do Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi back. And then you know what? If it's that much of if I love this freaking movie that much, and I think Andrew Garfield's gonna actually knock it out of the park now that he's gonna be with Kevin Feige and Marvel over there, I wouldn't mind seeing a Amazing Spider-Man 3, but only one film for him. Toby, I could see maybe 2 more, but out of the 2, I would actually really love to have a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4 because they never got that chance to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll
do
those
Sam Raimi would come back.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll happen.
Like, I don't see them happening, but it is a cool little thought to think that, like, because never have I thought that they were ever going to bring back another Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. After those movies series ended, I was like, they're done. When Tom Holland came into play, I was like, okay, they're definitely dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it is crazy, and like that last past year or so, we've been talking about them coming back. Like it's blown my mind to think that they would come back, and it's, you know, if this movie has so much hype that it needs to do it right, they need to come back in the right way. So I don't know, maybe that's like in their minds right now, and they have to see how this movie receives, like how people like seeing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back on the screen, how they look, how they're acting. Will people be, you know, do they want to see if people react to being like, nah, I still like Tom Holland better, or people being like, oh man, like there he is, they're awesome, they're funny, they're great, they're enjoyable to watch, and then them being like, all right, green light, go make the next movies for them.
This movie's gonna make a ton of money, so it's kind of hard to like, if it were to, if it's a huge success, which is going to be, I don't see Sony just backing away from like, because if Batman can do it with Robert Pattinson, and then now they want to do a Ben Affleck, he's gonna be in the Flashpoint, and then he's also gonna have his maybe own his own TV series or movie. I think they could do it probably for Spider-Man because they're very similar too when it comes to Rogue Gallery. So we're gonna leave it at this. What do you got, Albert?
Yeah, I'll say nothing's impossible, right? I would say I don't think they'll happen, but also like Chase said, I never thought the Spider-Verse movie would happen, a live action with those two other Spider-Men. I am happy though, because we were supposed to get the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4, and I believe we were also supposed to get the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man 3, and they wanted to do them, right? It's just they got canceled. So I'm glad that Andrew and Tobey could, if this is their final time as Spider-Man, at least now they'll like know, like they can get the closure that they never got.
That's exactly the key word. I just want closure for the two. Yeah,
that's what makes me happy, is that they're gonna get that closure, and like maybe they can reprise it again. But if not, then at least like, because they were gonna reprise it, but then it got canceled. So now they get their closure. So that's what makes me happy. And we'll see how the movie goes, but just like it'll make it better knowing that they finally got their chance to show like the end of their story arc.
Yes, I want closure for both. Definitely for both. I want closure for Andrew, even though I didn't like the movies per se. Of course, I wanted closure for Tobey because I really did not like the third movie. Whether it be in this film or if they're able to get or they get solo films of their own just to wrap it up. We'll see. So I'm going to leave it at this. Chase and Albert, will you be watching Spider-Man No Way Home the first day it comes out, or will you watch it later on?
I'm gonna watch it the earliest screening I can get, Thursday at 5 or 6 p.m.
Yeah, this is a day one. If it goes on streaming services, fuck the streaming services. I'm going to a theater. I'm getting my popcorn. I'm getting my soda. I'm sitting down. I'm watching that damn movie. Endgame had me the same way. I needed to see Endgame day one. Infinity War 2. This is a day one. I have to watch. Cannot let anyone spoil it for me. I have to go in. Have to watch it, have to experience that with a bunch of Marvel fans in a room together, celebrating, cheering on those moments that we all love to see. Everyone just going like screaming and crying at the same exact time. Like I need that. I just need that to.
Yep. Yeah. It's gonna be an emotional one, and this is like Endgame to me, where that last week or two before it comes out, I'm gonna delete all my social media just like I did Endgame, so I don't get it spoiled. You have to see this opening weekend for sure if you can't see it the opening day, because it's gonna be one of those where you don't want it spoiled. You want to see, you want to be there to experience it, because it's just like Endgame was. This is another like cinematic colossal event. So
this is for me IMAX, whatever showing I can get on the first day. IMAX in the Universal City Walk, popcorn. I quit soda, but fuck it, I'll drink whatever. I'll drink a soda, soda, maybe some nachos. This is what I've been talking about. This is what the difference between streaming and theaters is. That are you really gonna watch Spider-Man No Way Home if it was available for $30 on streaming? This is not a movie that you pay $30 to sit at home. I don't care if you have a 70-inch TV. It's not the same. You're not. Why do you think TikToks and all that stuff have the live reaction when Captain America gets Mjolnir, whatever the fuck that thing's called, and people go bananas? It's like the most goosebump moment. So, and I think we're gonna get a ton of that. I got a goosebump moment just seeing the trailer with Doc Ock saying hello, Peter. So, IMAX for sure. All three of us are going to the theater. Hopefully the Delta virus is in check. Hopefully theaters don't close again. If they
When,
do, please push it back.
I'll rent the
when's
theater.
the
I don't
day?
give a
When's the
fuck.
day?
I'll
Yeah,
rent the
rent
theater
the
out.
theater. I'll rent the damn theater too.
When's the day? It's in December.
December 17th.
Yeah, it's not Christmas
Okay.
Day,
Because I
but
was thinking, I'm like, I know I
yeah.
have to go to Oregon or whatever in the middle of butt fuck nowhere, Oregon, in the middle of December, but I think it's just before that, so I should be good. And I'm like, I'll drive an hour out to a city with
Yep.
if I need to, but I'm like, okay, I think
Yep.
I should be back, and maybe shit, Dan, I'll fly straight to you, bud.
Come out, I'll get you a ticket, man. Let's
We'll
go.
watch straight
We'll
to
go to
you.
We'll go Universal first, and then we'll go watch the movie second.
Oh man,
Yep.
I'm not
No,
even
dude.
kidding. I'm down to do
For
that.
sure.
I'm looking.
Oh, yeah. This is meant for the big screen. Like Kevin Feige said, they make these movies for those moments where people surrounded by a crowd all applaud at the same time. And
I know
this
about
is
Black
so
Widow,
many
but
of
okay.
that. I already know when we see Toby and Andrew come out, that theater, we're not going to be able to hear what's happening on screen because everyone's going to be clapping.
I know that's gonna be
Oh, yeah.
crazy. That's gonna be nuts. Be nuts.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna definitely see it 2 times. Second time has to be a quieter, like less theater packed time. Yeah, 6.
I'm gonna break the
6
record. My record is 5 for The Dark Knight and 5 for Guardians of the Galaxy. The Dark Knight Rises. 5 for Dark Knight Rises and 5 for Guardians of the
You're gonna
Galaxy.
hate to know what movie I have the record on for. The original Suicide Squad. I saw it 6 times.
Why?
I got movies for free and like people wanted to see it, so I just like I didn't mind the movie at the time, so I was like, fuck it, we'll go see it again. I saw it 6
times though. Jesus Christ.
Mine's Far From Home. I saw it 7 times.
I
Oh,
saw
it's a
it
Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Far From Home is the weakest one in my opinion, but it's still good. I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
All right, guys. Well, of course, Marvel's got so much crap coming. But Spider-Man is like one of the. I think everybody could agree Spider-Man is like one of the biggest ones right now. Like nobody's talking anything else but Spider-Man. No What If, no Loki, no Kang,
No Shang-Chi, no What If, no
I'm
Eternals.
curious how the box office numbers goes for that. But I think they're coming in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, right? For
I think Spider-Man No Way Home will be the first movie to reach 1 billion after like the theaters have reopened.
I think it had a chance to actually break the records if there wasn't no virus.
I think so too.
Yeah. I agree.
At least top 5 of all time. I for sure would have crossed 2 billion if COVID never existed.
That was what I was gonna ask. Okay, last thing. Predict how much you think it's gonna make in a theater. I think it's gonna make 800 mil.
Total?
Worldwide?
Oh, you know what? China's playing it, right? Okay. I think it's gonna make. I'm agree with Albert. 1 bill. We'll go 1 bill.
Yeah. I don't know much about like box office numbers, and especially now that they're weird. They're not what they used to be.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna say 1.5 mil or billion, 1.5 billion total. It's full run.
I'll say right there 1 bill.
All right.
Okay. It's so hard because I don't like. Is this coming out as a streaming service like the other one? Like I have no
not
clue.
so far. Not that I heard of. No.
Because that's a big difference.
That could change though.
That they're big. Like there are a lot of people who just don't care enough that they'll just watch it in there. But if it's out, if it's not on streaming service, people will go see it. It'll be a big movie, and I think it can reach that 1 bill mark. It'll be the first movie to really, I think, bring back people to the theaters. But of course, I don't know what's going on with this whole Delta variant. It seems like things are trying to close back up, trying to do their thing, whatnot. But 1.5 and like top 5 all time would totally be in the reach if it wasn't for COVID.
What's his competition in December?
Nothing. I don't know.
No, there's that movie Resurrections or whatever, Matrix.
I don't know if Dune is coming out that month or not.
I believe it was November that Dune was coming out.
Okay. Well, if it goes against Matrix, 1 bill for sure, because Matrix is a heavy hitter too.
But I don't know. They're not coming out the same weekend. I don't think so. No. It's the same month.
We'll see how it all pans out. You know how things change going forward. So we'll see, especially now in this time. All right, guys. So we're going to end it there. We'll probably have another discussion on Marvel when we get some Marvel news, especially with Venom's going on and Sony. And we'll see if there's any new news. Yeah, we did course, we did a spoiler review. Mr. Marvel Albert here explained the whole movie, break down the movie, told us the post-credit scenes. So we have that video on the channel. So go check that out if you want to be spoiled early. I have not seen any channel with spoilers, any big channels at least with spoilers on the movie. So thank you, Albert, for taking the bullet on there. I'm sorry, your channel will probably be taken down, but it's okay. You can jump on this channel, right? Just kidding. It's on this channel. Hopefully, it doesn't get taken down. But yeah, and then we got Demon Slayer season 2's coming out. If you guys like Demon Slayer as well, so Chase, we got Demon Slayer.
Is that October? That's October, isn't it? Yeah, I'm 100%. Yeah,
soon.
Into Demon Slayer season 2.
And Jujutsu Kaisen movies.
That one's soon too. I can't remember how soon. The My Hero movie is soon as well, because that's already out in Japan, isn't it?
It is.
My Hero movie is already out in Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that though.
Watch some Tokyo Revengers. Just saying. Told you about that.
I heard it's good.
It's
Albert,
pretty damn good.
You need to jump on me and Sandra's cast. We talk wrestling. We might get another wrestling thing going on.
For sure.
Yeah, we talked about the whole Becky Lynch controversy. So there's a lot of content on this channel, guys. I mean, there's wrestling, anime, TV, movies. I don't think there's any movies I want to see yet. What's up, Albert? You raise your hand. You have your hand up.
Here, I have one final question for the two of you. We know the trailer to the Spider-Man will come out at one point. They're gonna have another one. I hope the next one is the final one, because Shang-Chi and Eternals just had 2 each. So I hope this one just has 2. And I believe it'll come out before Eternals so that it can play with Eternals the same way this one came out before Shang-Chi. What do you think that trailer will end? Like, this one ended with the big moment, Doc Ock. What do you guys think that trailer will end with?
What? I'm gonna go with another villain reveal. I think plenty to they've just hinted at him, but I think they have plenty. Like, if Willem Dafoe's in it, go out, have him say a line, it'll be just as killer. Or you can show Jamie Foxx, or maybe just show all the villains together. Like, we kind of know who's in it. There's Charlie Cox they can show off. They just show off one of these. Don't show off one Spider-Man. Show off plenty of the other people you're gonna have in it that we know are in it. Yeah,
2 people. I think it'll be the final trailer. I think they'll show a little bit more Doc Ock, just a little bit more. I think they'll show Electro using his powers. You might get Sandman. There's a You're not going to show Green Goblin. I don't think they're going to show Willem Dafoe Green Goblin. But at the end of the trailer, you're going to see Charlie Cox.
No.
I think you're going to see Daredevil. I don't think they're going to show either of the Spider-Man. I just believe that's just such a bad move in their part.
Yeah.
You make money either way. Don't spoil it. I think Kevin Feige is the guy who's saying, don't you dare show the Spider-Mans. I don't give a shit if there's leaks out there. Yeah. I don't want to see them in the trailer. Make as much.
There's people that want to show.
Yeah.
There's some executives that are like, I want him to sell tickets, and they're like, Kevin Feige's like, no. Fucking keep contained. Keep them where they're at. They do not need to be shown.
So yeah, and then we should have a discussion later on about the Eternals, because there is some, I don't know.
That second trailer to me hyped me up. The first trailer didn't do much. The second trailer,
it looked more into it. I don't know much about Eternals, to be honest, so I need to learn more.
It looked like they took a page out of Man of Steel's book.
Yeah, but you want to know what I think the second trailer will end with? So I think since this first trailer ended with a villain from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, the second trailer will end with a villain from Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. So I think it'll be Electro. I think you'll see Jamie Foxx, and he'll say something like how Doc Ock said, "Hey Peter," and then he'll transform into the electric being that he is or whatever. That, or it could be 2 villains, him and then someone else.
What if they show off all the villains? What if they show off hey, this is the group of villains that we're getting right here?
I'm okay with the villains they're showing, but I'm not okay with the Spider-Mans they're showing. The villains are fine though.
I like how they're teasing them though, we haven't clearly seen Lizard or Sandman, or we haven't seen Green Goblin, but they tease him with the bomb, and Electro,
Yeah.
they tease him with the lightning.
Yeah.
I hope they tease them more, and then just maybe they show us one good look at one other person. Like maybe we'll see the glider or something, like the Green Goblin silhouette, but we
Yeah.
don't see what he actually looks like. And then the trailer ends with now we see a clear image of Electro in suit. That's how I think it'll end. You're right. I don't think they will show the Spider-Man. It was my fear, but after talking with you guys, I don't think they will show it.
And I honestly think the final fight is going to be a night scene.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a night scene because they're going to showcase Electro's power. So it's going to be a kind of like a Vulture and Spider-Man thing at the end. My opinion.
Okay. But who are the Sinister Six? Because in the trailer we haven't seen who the sixth person is. We don't know.
Well, Vulture is one of them.
Vulture could be in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right,
well,
so
he's definitely in Morbius. So, but Vulture is.
It's haven't shown him, but there's.
He's definitely still part of the universe though.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, guys, we're at an hour 20. So we'll talk more. I know there's going to be more Spider-Man stuff coming out, toys and all that stuff. So, and then they might drop it into the Spider-Verse trailer soon too, later on.
For another, when is that supposed
to... It's actually hitting streaming, not theaters.
The next Spider-Verse movie?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I hear my son. He's like, dying. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Marvel over there, Albert with the peace sign. Of course, we'll link up again. Chase, overdue Bobcat 50. Are we still twitching over there?
Yeah, we're still twitching. I've been twitching the last couple of days. I'm going to try to twitch some Psychonauts 2 here, and then to get that brand new game that just came out. Give it a try. Come on the channel and give me a watch.
Yeah. All right, and then Albert, you're always in this channel. We always speak Marvel, or we'll try to get into some wrestling too. And then upcoming
AEW tonight, CM Punk.
Oh, that's right. I mean, I think everybody's jumping ship now.
Oh yeah.
I got Chib's Sons of Anarchy video coming. I'm going to be doing that, and then I think I got a couple. I got a couple other stuff. So just look out for that. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Long one today, but good stuff. I'm Dan Domenic.